Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
In the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, one stood. He chose the path of perpetual torment. In his ravenous hatred, he found no peace, and with boiling blood, he scoured the unknown plains, seeking vengeance against the Dark Lords who had wronged him. And those that tasted the bite of his sword named him
Stone Cold Loki. Humanity, look how far you've fallen.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and you know what, Pedro? This is what Pedro thinks of each and every person in this country that has a political view that differs from him. This is what Pedro thinks, ladies and gentlemen. Good old Pedro. Losers in 1865, losers in 1945, losers in 2020. Well, you know what you can do, Pedro? You can kiss it. You can suck it. You can go jump off of a fucking cliff. How's that for the analytics, YouTube? How's that for the first 30 seconds of a stream? You like that? Because I know I like it. And a $5 super chat from Psychodorp9. I'm reading this chat and listening to Ramstein. Good thing I'm barked. Well, it's a good thing you're here, brother, because we're going to hit you with the skull right off the bat this morning, brother. We're going to hit you with some Gojira. Skull! The fire is here because these sons of bitches think we should be on our knees for how we view things. We should be down on our knees just like them, sucking that green soy booby milk just like them. This is how they live their lives. They live their lives on their knees. Well, guess what, Hollywood? We don't. We have a voice. We stick up for our principles. We don't roll over and take it up the ass like you do. And we won't, because we're Valhalla and we're not afraid. We are Valhalla and we will not kneel. We will not live on our knees, and we will not be silent. This is why I got onto YouTube in the first place, was to say screw shit like this. Screw people like Pedro that don't want you to have a voice, that want to shame you into keeping silent, that want to shame you into being someone else, that want to shame you into following their way and being fucking sheep. Valhalla is not sheep. The fandom are not sheep. And do you know why? Do you know why? Because we are not afraid to voice our opinion. We are not afraid to be proud of something. We are not afraid to stand up for things we believe in. While Pedro's living on his knees out in Cali, sucking green booby milk. And Psychodorf 9 Loki, there's more of us than there are of them. Damn straight, Psychodorf 9. And yes, good morning, everyone. But this show's going to go a little differently than it normally does. Normally, I would sit here and I would welcome each and every one of you to this wonderful chat, to this wonderful show. But not today. Not today. No. I cannot and will not put up with this shit. Not what happened with Pedro, not what happened with Johnny, not Amber Heard running around talking about, oh, Johnny did this, Johnny did that. Johnny, you lying bitch. You got caught in court lying. And that judge being connected to you, that judge meeting you after the case was already in place, after the case was already going, that judge meeting you to the side in private, that, ladies and gentlemen, that is what is wrong. That is what is going on. That is what we have to put a fucking stop to. Johnny Depp got wronged. Johnny Depp has been ejected from Hollywood because he stood up for himself. He stood up for himself and he got ejected from Hollywood. This is his penance. Just days after he loses his lawsuit, you're off of Fantastic Beasts, which is like a godsend for him anyway. That whole series has sucked green booby milk almost as hard as Star Wars. He's off Pirates of the Caribbean. Let me tell you something, Disney. Johnny Depp's the only fucking reason people went and saw those movies anyway. Johnny Depp is the only reason people went and saw your Pirates of the Caribbean movies. He made those movies. That second movie sucked ass. People went and saw it because of Johnny Depp. That fourth movie sucked ass. People went and saw it because of Johnny Depp. That first movie was gold, solid fucking gold, and it was because of Johnny Depp. So by all means, dump Johnny off the project. No one's going to go see your fucking movie. Why? Because it's going to be another Mulan. You're going to have a female fucking character come in to replace Johnny Depp. Good luck. Good luck, bitches. Enjoy. Go ahead and get Margaret Robbie. Get to whoever the hell you want. It's going to be a failure. Why? Because you do not care about the people that are making those movies. You do not care about the people working for you, working their asses off. And it shows. It shows with Star Wars after the fact. It's shown with everything you've done. And a $20 super chat from Mexican Iron Man. I have few Latino role models in Hollywood. And Pedro is no longer one of them. Plus, he's an idiot historically. The Democratic Party of today is the same Democrats that were the same Southern Democrat. Yeah. Yes. Totally agree, Mexican Iron Man. And just for you, brother. Just for you. Because I know you love it so much. Skull! Keep the home fires burning bright in Valhalla. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. And Curry with a 5 lira super chat. Rain that green fire, Loki. You want some fire, brother? You want some fire? I will give you some fire this morning, brother.
Spartans! What is your profession? Long live the fighters!
Thank you so very much, Curry. You guys keep the home fires burning bright in Valhalla. Psychodorf 9, Loki, what's the over-under on Mandalorian after Pedro ran his mouth? I talked to Lorena Creel. I talked to Dave Bob. And we are going to watch it to see Gina Carano. We are going to watch it to see what they do with Katie Sackhoff. We're going to watch it to see what they do with some of the wonderful actresses and actors in this show besides fucking Pedro. The only thing keeping the Mandalorian afloat right now with half the population is Baby Yoda. And then he goes and runs his mouth and does this shit. What has he done that has been in any way, shape, or form spectacular this season? It's been fucking boring. We have sat by and been like, middle of the road episode, filler episode. He hasn't done anything worthwhile in this show in 2 episodes. Look, the season is a quarter of the way over. We get 8, and the first 2 have been meh. So we want to see Gina Carano. We want to see what Gina Carano does. We know she's coming up. We want to see what Katie Sackhoff does. Rosario Dawson coming in as Ahsoka Tano. As far as Pedro goes, he can fuck off and suck it. I am done. I am fucking done. Motherfucker forgets where he came from. And that will be the destruction of them all. When they forget where they come from. When they forget their roots. Do you think I've ever forgotten where I've come from? Do you think I've ever forgotten where I grew up? No. Hell no. Why? Because it's embedded to me. There's a reason why Mexican Iron Man says, hell, Loki's more Latino than I am. Because I remember my roots. I know where I came from. And I will never forget. Why? Because I am proud of where I came from. These fucks out in Hollywood aren't. The elite out in Hollywood, they don't remember where they came from. They don't remember what life was like back then. They don't remember what normal people do every day. They have no clue at all what life was like then. All they know is they have to get on their knees at these parties, that they have to get on their knees in front of these producers. They have to get on their knees to Kathleen Kennedy, and they have to suck it down. Why? Because that is what they have to do. You know what? If I was out in Hollywood, and they said, you know what, Loki, if you want to do this, you're going to have to get down on your knees and drink some green booby milk. I would tell them to fuck right off. I don't care how much money is involved. I don't care how much money they're going to pay me. Why? Because I still remember where the fuck I came from. They don't. They don't remember. And the shit they've done to Johnny, the shit coming out of Pedro's mouth, the shit that Amber Heard has pulled, they don't remember where the hell they came from. They don't remember what it took to get them there. They don't have any idea because they've lost it. They've fallen prey and become a victim of their own making. Why? For money. And hell yes, speaker for the dead. Hashtag justice for Johnny. Hashtag he was wronged. And he's just going to keep getting wronged. He has been exiled from Hollywood. He has been exiled from his job. All because he refused to kneel and take it from Amber Heard. He refused to live on his knees and be a victim when they are telling people you must take responsibility for things other people have done. It doesn't matter what you did. It doesn't matter what you said. All that matters is something that happened 200 fucking years ago that someone you never met, never lived with, never talked to said. You should take responsibility for that. Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to take responsibility for my own actions. I'm going to take responsibility for the shit I did do. Not the shit some imaginary motherfucker 200 years ago did. Yes, now I am officially ghosted. I know exactly what was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen before I had the damn stream. Of course I'm ghosted. Why am I ghosted? Because I dare tell the truth. I dare speak my mind. I dare not live on my knees. And a $5 super chat from Psychodorf9. Morally, there's no difference between $1 and the world if you sell your soul. And that's what they've done, isn't it? That's exactly what they've done. Hell, I'd probably get ghosted just for saying soul. I'll probably get ghosted just for saying that. They don't like it. They don't like anything. They don't like themselves most of all. And brother, just for you, we go old school. Skull, Psychodorf 9.
There it is! It's beautiful! Take your hat off, boy, that's a dollar bill!
And Loriana Creel, so sick and tired of asshats like Pedro Pascal trashing this country. And it's not just the country, Loriana. It's the people in it. It's the people in it. It's the people working their ass off at that 9-to-5 job. It's that people working their ass off trying to take care of their kids. It's the people working their ass off to pay for fucking Disney Plus. To pay to have a fucking service, and he wants to run his damn mouth. Let me tell you something, Pedro. Those people you're talking about, they're the reason you have a job. In fact, I'll tell that to all of Hollywood. We, the people here, we are the reason why you have a job. We are the reason why you were employed. No one has to have entertainment. No one has to have tickets to go see a movie. No one has to have fucking DVD players and streaming services to watch your shit. We don't have to have any of that. We do it because we love it. And the more you run your mouth and talk your trash, the more we are going to turn our backs on you and walk away. The more we are going to close our wallet to you and walk away. You know what, guys? I'll tell you something. 2 opportunities I had Sunday. 2 opportunities I had Sunday to purchase something. And I didn't do it. At the time, I didn't know why I didn't do it. I didn't know why I decided not to do it. But those 2 things were a $50 giant Funko Pop of the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda and a Mandalorian poster. And I turned it down. I was like, no. And all of it was on sale. I think the Funko was like 50% off and the poster was buy 2, get 1. And I didn't do it. I didn't do it because I just was like, no. Mandalorian's okay, but there's no point in me having it. There's absolutely no point in me having it. The poster looks cool. The toy looks cool, but there's just no point. And I'm glad I didn't. A $19.99 super chat from Adega Outlaw. Tolerance from the civil, silent, and the vast majority needs to end. Be quiet no longer. Shout out the truth. These monsters are now the hunted. United we rise to take this no longer. Oh, okay. Mandatory lurking. Adega, brother, thank you so very much for keeping the fires burning bright in Valhalla. Skull, brother.
Spartans! What is your profession? Long live the fighters!
Thank you so very much, Adega Outlaw. And Latino Slant, welcome, brother. Welcome. Loki, no pruning, brother. Pedro done messed up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, brother. You know what? I loved him in Narcos. That is the first thing I saw him in was Narcos. And I was like, dude, I really like this guy. I really, really like this guy. And he was in a couple of movies after that. And I was like, I'm really like, and then I saw him in Game of Thrones. I guess I missed him back then because I watched the whole series right before season 8 started. And I was like, okay, he had a cool little role in that. And then I heard he was getting the Mandalorian. I was like, this guy knows his gunplay. He knows how to use a 6-shooter. So I'm excited. And now he can go fuck himself. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we do. We admit when we like someone and when we don't like someone. And why has my opinion changed? Because he's shown he lives on his knees, sucking the green Hollywood booby milk. That is how he lives. And that is how he will die. He will die on his knees, sucking green booby milk. One day he will go out, however he goes out, and that'll be it. He'll be living on his knees. Lorena Creel, I love Narco too. Yes, Javier. Javier was my favorite too, Lorena. Javier was my favorite too. Funny how someone that, I'm going to share the screen again, just in case anybody missed it. Just in case anybody missed it. It's funny how someone he claims has loved him as an actor since day one, since the first time that we saw him. But this is what we are. This is what we are. We're grouped with this. Thank you so very much, Pedro, for being who you aren't. For being who you aren't. And Pod Racy Palpatine, green booby milk. No, stay away from it. Pod Racy Palpatine, stay away from it. It's toxic. It's nasty. It'll turn you soy. You'll be tucking and rolling. Don't do it, brother. Do not do it. But Pedro, man, you had us. And then you didn't. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. When you start pointing your fingers at everyone and saying you are this and you are that. No, he said he was sober. He said he was sober. He commented in the tweets that, no, I haven't been drinking. I'm sober. He commented in the tweets that he was sober, that he hadn't been drinking. Because one of his little cronies was like, it's not his fault. He's probably been drinking. He said, no, I am completely sober. He said that in the tweets because he went back and he deleted it. He went back 4 hours after he posted it and deleted it because he knew. He knew Latino. He knew brother. He knew Paulie that he fucked up. He knew. He knew what he did. And then he has to stand by it because he's a little bitch. I wish it wasn't true. I wish it wasn't true, but that's what he did. That's what he did. And in a time where there are innocent people being told to take the blame, innocent people that are the victims being told they have to take the blame just so a narrative can be spun. That's the problem. Yeah. Yes, he has. Purple Valkyrie. Yes, he has. And that's what they do. That is what they do. They send their little sheep out to fight the wolf because they don't want to, because they can't take the heat. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers called that sorry son of a bitch out. He talked to him on Twitter, and Pedro wouldn't man up. Pedro would not man up and be like, no, this is what I meant. He wouldn't come out of hiding because he's going to hide behind his little cronies and let them do the dirty work now. He's going to let them do, just like Amber. That, have no mistake. That is exactly what Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp. That is exactly what Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp. She cried wolf and then watched the village go out to deal with Johnny. She cried wolf and then watched the village go out. And then she cried wolf again. And Crimson Myst, brother, yes. Judge not, yes, lest ye be judged. Thank you, brother. Pod Racing Palpatine, there's a saying that the minute you invoke Yahtzees in an argument, then you have already lost. Yes. That's all they have is ist, phobe, Yahtzee. That is all these people have is ist, phobe, Yahtzees. That is all they have. And that's sad that that's all they have. And they go back to that pool over and over and over and over again. Do you really think that while they're sitting there saying it's time for healing, that they're going to stop pointing fingers at each and every one of you? Anyone that disagrees with them? Do you really think that was going to happen? Because go back, scroll through my damn Twitter. And do you know what you're going to find? You're going to find a little message from the day of the election when everybody was going nuts that said, if you think the way they are acting is bad now, wait until it's over. You think Hollywood acting the way it was that day was bad, wait until it was over. Didn't matter how it was going to turn out. And you think that's funny. You know, if they don't get their way, they act like fucking crying clowns. And when they get their way, they're still pointing a finger and screaming at the top of their lungs. Kind of funny, isn't it? How that works. Loki, from Latino Slant, Loki, I think there's a serious issue he's got. We usually try to lie our way out of bad behavior. Oh, yeah. There is an issue he's got. Latino, brother, Paulie. There is an issue he's got. And that is that Hollywood elites, once they get to a certain point, they're living on their knees, spewing out the same rhetoric that all the other ones are spewing out. They cease to be individuals and they become part of a collective where everyone has to be exactly the same. And they don't live like that, but they spew that. They spew that same rhetoric. They spew that same bullshit. It's the exact same thing with the Amber Heard shit. We all know what she did. We all know the truth. She admitted she lied. She admitted in court that she lied. And yet here we are. She's going to have work. She's going to be working. Johnny's done. And why is Johnny done? I said it once, I'll say it again. Johnny's done because he dared to stand up and say, you will not do this to me. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how this whole movement started with a group of women saying, you're not going to do this to me. You are not going to do this to me, not Harvey, not anybody else. And I applaud the women that really were taken advantage of. The women that really had to live through that. The problem is, ladies, is that you've got people like Herd that will latch on to what happened to you and use it for their own gain. They will use it for their own advancement. They will use it just to ruin someone out of spite. I'm honestly waiting for it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for more. I'm sitting here waiting. You bitches that hate me for getting on here Monday through Friday and speaking my mind, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. By all means, accuse me. By all means, run out here in front of God and everybody and point your finger at me. Because I've got 2 words for you. Suck it. I stand with Johnny Depp. We stand with Johnny Depp. Justice for Johnny. Why? Because he dared stand up to them. He dared say, I will not be a victim. See, this me fool shit. That's all it is me fool. The me fool movement is them fooling themselves into thinking this will get them anywhere. Because we all see it and we won't support it. Amber lied. Amber pointed a finger at Johnny and said he did all this crap when it was her. She cut the man's fucking finger off. She hit him with a vodka bottle or a whiskey bottle, whatever the fuck it was. These women do not want to take responsibility. How does that make them any better than Weinstein or Epstein? Yeah, I'll fucking say the names. Weinstein, Epstein. How does that make them any better than that? How does that make them any better than that? It doesn't. And Gypsy Lemons, Johnny did nothing wrong besides defend himself. He dared to eject up and say, no, you're not doing this to me. And because he did, he has been ejected from Hollywood. He has been ejected from the roles he's been playing. He has been told, we don't want anything to do with you because you tried to stand up to the narrative we've put in place. And Latino Slant, Paulie, brother, I love Johnny too. And I love the hell out of little Pedro. But he is part of the problem. And that's what's sad. He is part of the problem. The elites in Hollywood are ruining it for everyone. I'm right there with you, Paulie, on the fact that there are hardworking men and women out in Hollywood that build sets, that run for coffee, that film scenes, that edit movies. Young men and women, young actresses that haven't found quite that spot yet, that work their ass off for nothing. But the elites, that's not them. And they're the ones ruining Hollywood. They're the ones dragging it down. They're the ones making it the hell that it is. People like Amber Heard, people like Pedro Pascal, they don't know what they've got, and they're going to lose it. They're going to lose it because no one's going to want to see them. No one's going to want to be around them. No one's going to want to go to their movies. No one's going to want to watch their TV shows. They're the ones pointing the fingers. They're the ones calling people fucking all sorts of shit. We're the ones that want good entertainment. We're the ones that want cohesive stories. We're the ones that want to sit back and enjoy Star Trek with our families instead of having to be like, no, you can't watch this. They F-bomb like 9 times. No, I'm sorry, but we can't do this. I would have never been allowed to watch Star Trek when I was a little kid if that was the way Star Trek was. Robert Pearson, the next film Johnny is allowed to make will be a box office smash regardless of what it is, just so the public can show support for him and show Hollywood we are in charge of what we watch. Damn straight. Robert Pearson, thank you so very much for being here, brother. Thank you so very much for your support, each and every one of you. Thank you. And Captain Spire, Loki, don't you just love it when they complain? Why would you record that conversation? What are you, some kind of monster? Instead of apologizing for the recording, exposing them. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you all something. When someone abuses you mentally or physically, the last thing they want is to be exposed publicly. To have a recording of someone acting like that. That is the last thing they want. When you turn that camera on your phone on, it stops them dead in their tracks. Because they don't want to be recorded saying the vile, horrible things they say. They don't want to be reminded of how they have treated someone. They don't want it to be shown publicly that they fucking act like that. They don't want it out there. Latino slant actors as well that want nothing to do with Hollywood's politics and just want to act. Yes, like Mrs. Slant. Yes, sir. When I go after Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, you know who I'm going after. I am going after the elite fucking soy titty milk drinking motherfuckers that want to tell you how to live your daily lives, that think it is their duty and responsibility to act like that. And Christopher Frederick, Spartans, what is your profession? Well, brother, right here for you.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Thank you so much for being here, brother. But that's right. They don't want anyone to see how they act behind the scenes. They don't want anyone to see the abuse they inflict. Yeah, F the Sun, Teresa Pearson. Hell yes. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here, Teresa Pearson. Chris Persia, the Son crucified Johnny, and that judge was the centurion that thrust his spear in the ribs of the condemned. That's right. Damn straight, Chris Persia. Sad that the new Fantastic Beasts movie will be a shell of what it could have been. It already is, dude. It already is. With all the theys, thems, and bullshit they threw into the first 2 movies, they're already horrible. Those movies are already fucking horrible as it was. They're just going to be even more so now. The only reason why I watched the second movie was because I wanted to see Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. I wanted to see more Grindelwald. That is the only reason why I watched that fucking second movie. So what is there going to be to watch the third movie? Nothing. Nothing. But hoe isn't a profession? Possibly. Mr. CCDB, they live in their own little world and don't want to be told how inconsistent they are. No, they don't. No, they don't. They do. They do live in their own little world where they are removed from the rest of the population, which is why they live on their knees, Mr. CCDB. It is why they live on their knees. It is why they cannot take responsibility for the shit they do and the shit they say. They have to act like fucking children because they're handled like fucking children. That's why these people have handlers. How many people do you know? Chat. Throw me a 1 in chat If you personally know someone that has to have a handler to control their everyday lives, that has to have a handler to tell them where to go, what to do, what to say, who to talk to, when to answer the phone. Anybody out there know one, throw a 1 in chat. If you don't, throw a 0. That way you can be including anybody. If you don't know anyone that has to have a handler to run their fucking daily lives, throw a 0 in chat. But if you do know someone, throw me a 1, because I would love to hear about who they are and what they do. How many normal fucking people have to have someone with a shock collar tell them what to do every day? How many? 0 sit room, 0 gun bunny, 0 Samantha Joe, 0 Fenner of Fire, 0 Purple Valkyrie, Crimson Mist, 0 Chris Persia, 0 Soul Assassin, 0 1 Brie Larson, Derek McManus. Low spec Linux laptop, 0. Project Storytime, 0. Mr. CCDB, 0. DD Meyer, 0. These fucking people have to have handlers controlling their everyday life. Pod Racing Palpatine, 0. Mark Dampling Tired, 0. Adega 1, no shit. Fat Steven Seagal beat up Pedro, 0. Handlers, only babies and animals, yeah. Timon FLP, yes. Babies and animals. Psychodorf 9, 0. So, this is the way they live their lives. Christopher Frederick, 0. This is the way they live their lives. They live their lives not knowing how to live their lives. They have someone there telling them where to go, where to eat, what to eat, when to train, when to talk, when to get on the phone, when to stay off the phone, who to meet, who not to meet. This is how they live their lives. They live their lives like children. So opening their mouths and acting like children isn't that big of a surprise. It's not. They don't know how to act. They do not know how to act. And they do not know how to break out of that. So you know what they do? They get screwed up. They join groups like Nixium. They join Scientology. They get down on their knees and drink whatever Hollywood's giving them. Because they don't know how to live their lives otherwise. There are people that have walked away from Hollywood. And they don't talk about their life in Hollywood. They don't want to talk about their life in Hollywood. You don't see them coming out with documentaries of my time in Hollywood. Why? Because they don't want to think about it. Because they learned to get away with that, get away from that, and live normal fucking lives. Because once you pass a certain point, that's it. You either become one of the indoctrinated fucking masses in Hollywood, or you get out. Mr. CCDB, I'm the handler for my service dog. Are celebrities like service dogs? I hope I said that right, Mr. CCDB. I am, of course, trying to emulate the way Mr. CCDB. I'm the handler for my service dog. Are celebrities like service dogs? Scientology is whack. Adega Outlaw. One day, possibly on Discord, I could unfold the whole story of the controlled and subjugated. The truth is very dark and puts targets on those who know from experience and then talk. I can imagine. Adega Outlaw. He would know. You would know. Why do I know? Because I've seen it. I've talked to them. I've been around it. It's not something you want to be around. You can't believe it. What do you mean you have someone that wakes you up every day? You have someone that gets you up every day and gets you going every day. That tells you where to be, what to say, who to talk to, when to answer the phone. I've said all that multiple times. And it's the truth. It's that sad that that is where they are at. So, for Pedro Pascal, and for Amber Heard, I say this. Suck it.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.